7. Fatal morning habits that are quietly destroying your health after 70. Have you ever stopped to think that your morning routine may be putting your life at risk? What if I told you that a 72-year-old lady died because of a mistake you might make every day? Could it be that your first actions upon waking up are silently compromising your health and longevity? A recent survey revealed that 90% of older adults make at least one of these 7 fatal mistakes every morning, without realizing the danger hidden in seemingly harmless habits. Most have no idea that their morning routines can be responsible for dizziness, falls, heart problems, and even silent strokes. Over the next few minutes, I'll reveal the 7 most dangerous habits that people over the age of 70 practice upon waking up, and more importantly, how to fix them immediately. And beware, the latter habit is rarely discussed, but it can dramatically increase your risk of hospitalization. Our bodies change over time, and what was safe in their 40s or 50s can become dangerous after 70. Let's get started. First up, the invisible danger of fasting coffee. How this daily routine is eating away at your digestive system. For many people, the day truly begins only after that first cup of coffee. This routine, practiced for decades, has become almost a sacred ritual. Waking up, brewing a fresh coffee, and starting the day. However, drinking coffee on an empty stomach can be one of the worst things you do for your body, especially after the age of 70. When you wake up, your stomach is empty, and your body is in a delicate state. Your blood sugar levels are low, your digestive system is just starting to function. Your cortisol, the natural stress hormone, is at its peak when you wake up. Drinking coffee without first eating can make this cortisol skyrocket even more, putting additional stress on your body, already weakened by advancing age. This often results in digestive discomfort, and over time can cause chronic problems like acid reflux or severe stomach irritation. The acid in coffee can deeply irritate the mucosa of an empty stomach, making it a gateway to chronic ulcers and gastritis in the elderly. If you've ever felt dizzy, palpitated, or even anxious after morning coffee, it's your body signaling that something isn't right. The acidity present in coffee can intensely irritate an empty stomach, resulting in indigestion, acid reflux, or heartburn. This irritation can become a daily problem for older adults who already have sensitive digestion, often without them realizing the connection between the habit and the symptoms. Consider the case of 75-year-old Daniel, who started each morning with pure coffee and ate only later. He never saw it as a problem until he started experiencing acid reflux more often. Initially, he attributed the discomfort to spicy foods or simply to the natural aging of the body. After consulting his doctor, he discovered that drinking coffee before eating was putting unnecessary pressure on his digestive system, already weakened by age. Daniel then began to have a light snack, perhaps a banana or a handful of nuts, before breakfast. Within a few weeks, her discomfort improved significantly and her morning energy stabilized. The idea here is not to abandon coffee, but simply to change the order of consumption. Eating a small snack before your first cup can help neutralize acidity, stabilize your blood sugar, and reduce your body's stress response. If you normally go straight to the coffee when you wake up, try changing this habit. Something as simple as a few cookies, a slice of wholemeal bread, or some fruit before coffee can make a huge difference to your digestive health and overall well-being. Remember, your digestive health at 70 is not the same as when you were 50. And if we imagine that your digestive system is like an old, valuable engine, would you keep putting corrosive fuel into it on a daily basis? Second, the morning stiffness trap. Why ignoring these signs can lead to a serious fall. One of the most dangerous mistakes after the age of 70 is to underestimate the impact of rigidity upon waking. Many feel a bit of tension in their joints upon awakening, and simply assume that this is a normal part of aging. They ignore the discomfort and begin to move quickly, not realizing that one misstep can lead to pain, injury, or even a severe fall. While we sleep, our muscles and joints can become stiff due to reduced movement and lower blood circulation. This is especially common in older adults, as the body produces less natural lubricant that helps joints move smoothly. Morning stiffness is not just a passing nuisance, but an important sign that your joints are asking for immediate attention before any sudden movement. As a result, when you first lift, your body isn't completely prepared for sudden activity. If you get up too fast, make an awkward twist, or take an unsafe step, you risk seriously injuring yourself. Think about the last time you woke up and noticed that feeling of stiffness in your back, knees, or shoulders. Maybe it disappeared after a few minutes, or maybe you just ignored it as something unimportant. But ignoring this stiffness day in and day out can eventually lead to more serious problems, such as limited mobility, chronic pain, or an injury that could have been prevented. Take the example of 78-year-old Ethan, who always considered himself an active person. When he woke up feeling stiff, he simply ignored it and went on with his usual routine. Then, one morning, on his way to the bathroom, he lost his balance and fell his hip. This fall resulted in months of recovery, all because he hadn't taken a few extra minutes to gently warm his body. The good news is that avoiding this mistake is simple and doesn't require a lot of additional time or effort. Before you even get out of bed, take a few moments to awaken your joints with gentle movements. Start with gentle movements. Move your fingers and toes, rotate your ankles, straighten your arms. While still lying down, do some gentle knee raises or slow leg movements to loosen your hips. Once seated, rotate your shoulders, breathe deeply, and do some light stretches before standing. This routine doesn't take much time, but it makes a huge difference in your mobility and safety. Those extra minutes can be the difference between feeling unstable and starting your day with confidence and poise. It's also important to be cautious with your first steps after getting up. Use a stable surface for support if necessary, and avoid rushing, especially if you're going to the bathroom in dim lighting. Your body needs time to adjust, and moving slowly can prevent unnecessary strain on your muscles and joints. The next time you wake up feeling stiff, don't ignore this important signal from your body. What changes would you implement tomorrow morning to make sure your joints are ready before you start moving? Third, morning self-medication, the dangerous cocktail that can send you to the hospital. Self-medication is a dangerous habit at any age, but it becomes particularly risky after the age of 70. Many older adults facing morning aches or malaise resort to over-the-counter medications without consulting a health professional. This seemingly harmless behavior can have serious and even fatal consequences when practiced regularly. When you wake up with joint pain, headache, or discomfort, it's tempting to reach for that familiar painkiller in your nightstand drawer. The problem arises when these decisions are made without fully understanding how these medications interact with your current health condition. As we age, the body metabolizes medications differently, making it more susceptible to side effects and drug interactions. Every non-prescription pill you take in the morning is potentially interacting with other medications in ways that can silently harm vital organs like your kidneys and liver. The kidneys and liver, responsible for filtering and processing medicines, no longer work as efficiently at age 70. This means that drugs that were safe decades ago can now stay in the system longer, reaching potentially toxic levels. Consider the case of 73-year-old Helena, who suffered from arthritis and often took ibuprofen in the morning to relieve stiffness. She also took prescription medications for high blood pressure, unaware that ibuprofen could reduce the effectiveness of her hypertension medications. After a few weeks of following this routine, Helena was hospitalized with dangerously high blood pressure. Her doctor explained that the combination of medications was compromising the control of her heart condition. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen and aspirin, commonly used for joint pain, can interact negatively with blood pressure medications, blood thinners, and diuretics. Antacids, often taken to relieve morning digestive discomfort, can affect the absorption of other important medications. Even seemingly harmless supplements like vitamins and herbs can cause potentially dangerous interactions with prescription medications. The solution is not to simply stop treating your symptoms, but to approach pain relief in a safer, more informed way. Before adding any medication to your morning regimen, even those sold over the counter, consult your doctor. Keep an up-to-date list of all the medications, supplements, and vitamins you take regularly. Ask specifically about possible interactions between your current medications and any over-the-counter medications you're considering. Explore non-drug alternatives to manage morning discomforts, such as hot compress for joint pain, gentle stretches, or relaxation techniques. If you must take pain relievers occasionally, your doctor may recommend safer options based on your specific medical history. Remember, self-medicating is not an act of independence, but an unnecessary risk that can compromise your health and quality of life. And you, have you talked to your doctor about all the medications you take in the morning, including those you consider harmless? Fourth, the 3-second movement that causes the most falls in older people: getting up too fast. It may seem like nothing more than a normal act of waking up, but for older adults, getting out of bed too quickly can result in dizziness, a sudden drop in blood pressure, and dangerous falls. As we age, our circulatory systems don't react as quickly as they once did. After lying down for several hours during sleep, blood tends to pool in the lower parts of the body. If you sit or stand up suddenly, your blood pressure may drop dramatically, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. Those 3 seconds when you stand up abruptly can cause a drop in pressure so severe that your brain is momentarily without enough oxygen. Think about the last time you got out of bed in the morning. Did you feel a little unstable? Did you notice your vision blurry, or did you need a moment to balance? This is his body warning that it was not ready for the sudden movement. Consider the case of 74-year-old Oliver, who every morning would swing his legs out of bed and get up immediately. He never thought much about it until the day he had a momentary blackout and lost his balance. Luckily, he fell on his bed, but it could have been much worse. That moment made him realize that he needed to change his routine. Instead of jumping out of bed, Oliver now follows a 3-step process that has significantly reduced his risk of morning falls. First, when he wakes up, he takes a few deep breaths while moving his fingers and toes to stimulate his circulation. Second, slowly roll to the side and sit up gradually, keeping your feet on the ground to stabilize yourself. Third, before standing, pause for balance, moving your ankles, stretching your arms, and giving your body a few seconds to adjust. While this change may seem small, it can greatly reduce the risk of dizziness, imbalance, and falls that threaten independence in older adults. As you well know, falls are one of the biggest dangers for older adults, often leading to broken bones, hospital stays, and long-term mobility problems. If you're used to getting up very quickly, consider allowing yourself a few extra seconds in bed before you start your movements. These moments can literally save your life and preserve your independence. Creating this new habit can be challenging initially, especially if you followed the same routine for decades. A helpful tip is to place a visual reminder near the bed, perhaps a small card with the words, "Get up slowly." This change in behavior may be one of the most important you will make for your safety. When will you change the way you get up tomorrow morning? Fifth, silent dehydration. How the lack of water when you wake up is suffocating your cells. One of the most easily overlooked but risky mistakes, especially for people over 70, is not drinking water immediately upon waking. You may not see hydration as urgent at first, but after many hours of sleep, your body is already a little dehydrated. While you sleep, your organs continue to function, your lungs continue to breathe, and your body loses fluids through breathing and sweating. When you wake up, your blood is slightly thicker, your circulation is slower, and your body is running with a small water deficit. Morning dehydration forces your heart to work up to 40% harder to pump the same volume of blood, significantly increasing your risk of heart problems. Not replacing these lost fluids quickly can lead to high blood pressure, poor circulation, and even an increased risk of stroke or heart attack in the early hours of the day. Reflect on how you feel in the morning. Do you wake up with a dry mouth, stiff joints, or lower than normal energy? All of these can be signs of nocturnal dehydration, a problem that intensifies with age. And if your first liquid of the day is coffee instead of water, you may be making the situation worse, as caffeine has a diuretic effect that can further increase dehydration. Take 76-year-old Luke as an example, who used to go straight to his breakfast without a second thought. However, as he got older, he began to experience episodes of dizziness and mental confusion in the mornings. His doctor advised him to drink water as soon as he woke up, and within a few weeks, he noticed a marked difference. He felt more alert, his headaches became less frequent, and his energy levels improved substantially. Water is essential for keeping your blood flowing properly, helping your kidneys function efficiently, and relieving strain on your heart during the early hours of the day. Drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up activates your metabolism, rehydrates your organs, and sets your circulation in motion to face the new day. For anyone struggling with digestive issues, a little morning hydration can keep things running smoothly and prevent constipation, a common problem in seniors. If you don't usually drink water in the morning, start with a small glass kept by your bed. If you prefer something warm, try warm water with a little lemon, which in addition to hydrating, can help stimulate your digestion naturally. Your body has been working hard throughout the night and needs proper hydration to function at its best. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. At that point, you're already dehydrated. Make it a habit to start each morning with water, and your body will thank you with more energy, better cognition, and more efficient organic functions. What would be the easiest way for you to implement this healthy habit tomorrow? 6th, the digital morning poison. How social media right on awakening is damaging your brain. In recent decades, a potentially harmful new morning habit has emerged: checking social networks or news on the smartphone as soon as we open our eyes. This seemingly modern and harmless habit can have surprisingly negative consequences for older adults, affecting both mental and physical health. When you wake up, your brain is in a particularly vulnerable state, transitioning from sleep to wakefulness. This transition period is crucial for establishing your hormonal balance and mental state for the rest of the day. Immediately exposing yourself to a stream of information, some potentially stressful or negative, can trigger a cascade of stress hormones early in the day. Blue light from electronic devices in the morning can suppress up to 45% of the remaining melatonin, completely disrupting your internal biological clock. For people over 70, who may already face challenges with anxiety, blood pressure, and sleep quality, this habit can significantly aggravate these problems. Consider the case of 73-year-old Martha, who developed the habit of checking news and messages from family members as soon as she woke up. She began to notice that she often felt anxious and tired during the day, even after a seemingly adequate night's sleep. After seeing her doctor, she discovered that morning exposure to blue light from screens was interfering with her circadian rhythm, while the often negative news raised her cortisol levels as soon as she woke up. On medical recommendation, Marta established a new routine: no electronic devices in the first hour after waking up. Instead, she devoted that time to brief meditation, a leisurely breakfast, or a light walk through the garden. In just 2 weeks, she noticed significant improvements in her morning energy, mental clarity, and overall anxiety levels. In addition to the hormonal and emotional effects, there is also the physical impact to consider. Looking down in the direction of the phone puts unnecessary strain on the neck and spine, areas already vulnerable due to posture during sleep. This position, known as text neck, can exacerbate back problems and cause tension headaches early in the day. To break this harmful cycle, consider establishing a period of morning digital detox. Keep electronic devices out of reach of your room, using a traditional alarm clock if necessary. Make it a personal rule not to check devices for the first hour after waking up, giving your body and mind time to wake up naturally. Replace screen time with nurturing activities, gentle stretching, journaling, brief meditation, or simply enjoying a hot drink in silence. If you really need to be connected early in the morning, at least apply blue light filters on your devices and keep sessions brief and focused. Remember that what we do in the first moments after waking up sets the tone for the rest of the day. Starting your day with a digital information bath may seem productive, but it may be quietly sabotaging your brain health in the long run. And you, what would be a more nutritious activity to replace the habit of checking your cell phone as soon as you wake up? 7th, the Russian Roulette of medicines. How mistakes in the morning administration of medicines can be fatal. Perhaps the most dangerous and often overlooked mistake among people over the age of 70 is the incorrect administration of prescription medications in the morning. As we age, we often hoard more medications to manage chronic conditions, creating a complex morning regimen that can easily go wrong. Most people don't realize that taking the wrong medication, at the wrong time, or at the wrong dose can have potentially fatal consequences. Many older people take an average of 5 or more different medications daily, a phenomenon known as polypharmacy. This complexity, combined with potential memory issues or reduced vision, creates a perfect scenario for dangerous errors. A single mistake in the morning administration of medications can trigger a cascade of side effects that manifests itself only hours later, when the cause is already difficult to identify. Take the example of 79-year-old Carlos, who managed several medications for diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol. One morning, in a hurry and without his glasses, he accidentally doubled the dose of his diabetes medication. Hours later, during an appointment, he suffered an episode of hypoglycemia that resulted in a fall and hospitalization. This is just one example of how a simple morning mistake can have serious repercussions. Another common problem is confusion about which medications should be taken with food and which should be taken on an empty stomach. Some thyroid medications, for example, must be taken on an empty stomach, while anti-inflammatories often require food to prevent stomach irritation. The interaction between drugs and food can drastically alter the effectiveness and safety of medicines. Morning dehydration, which we discussed earlier, can also affect the way medications are absorbed and processed by the body. Not drinking enough water when taking pills can lead to esophageal irritation or improper absorption. To reduce these risks, consider implementing an organized system for medication administration. Use a pill organizer with clearly marked compartments for each day of the week and periods of the day. Keep an up-to-date and legible list of all your medications, including name, dosage, purpose, and specific instructions on how to take them. Establish a consistent time to take your morning medications, linking them to other daily routines to create a natural reminder. Consult your pharmacist about possible interactions between your medications and which ones should be taken with food versus fasting. Consider medication reminder apps, or if technology is a challenge, ask a family member or caregiver for help. Never change doses or schedules without consulting your doctor, even if you're feeling better or worse. Request regular reviews of your entire list of medications with your doctor to see if all medications are still needed. Remember that managing medications isn't just about taking pills. It's a crucial part of your overall treatment plan. Taking a few extra minutes to organize and check your morning medications can literally save your life. What system could you implement immediately to make your medication regimen safer and more accurate? As we reflect on these 7 potentially dangerous morning habits, it becomes clear that small changes can have a profound impact on our health and quality of life after age 70. The good news is that each of these errors has a simple and accessible solution that can be implemented immediately. Your morning routine sets the tone for the entire day, and after your 70s, it becomes even more critical to your overall health and well-being. A healthy start doesn't require radical changes, but small adjustments that protect your body, keep your mind clear, and help you feel your best from the first moment of the day. Whether it's giving yourself a few extra seconds before getting out of bed, prioritizing hydration, being careful with your breakfast, adapting your medication, or starting your day without electronic devices. These small adjustments add up over time and can make the difference between staying active and tackling preventable health problems. Many people believe that health problems in old age are inevitable, but this is not entirely true. The choices we make each morning hugely influence our longevity, energy, and overall well-being for many years to come. Now that you know these 7 common mistakes, you have the power to avoid them and shape your mornings in a way that supports your health for years to come. Remember, you don't have to implement all of these changes at once. Start with a habit that feels most relevant to your current situation, and gradually incorporate the others. Every small step toward a healthier morning routine is a win for your quality of life and independence. Healthy aging doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of conscious choices we make on a daily basis, starting the moment we open our eyes in the morning. Which of these habits will you change tomorrow? Your future self will thank you for every wise adjustment you make today.